Hello and welcome to this video. In this particular video, we're going to be looking at one of the examples to understand how to sell naked ports profitably to generate a monthly income. Now, this is one of the best strategies that I have found out there, which has consistently worked for me. And we'll be going to my trading account and we'll be looking at a live example of one of the trades that I had executed, which is still active. And we'll see how to find out these opportunities and how to take advantage of them. Uh, but before we proceed, disclaimer that none of the information that I'm sharing with you is any kind of a trade or investment recommendation. So it's just for information and educational purposes. So let's hop into my trading account and let's see at a live example of one of the trades that I executed, which involved selling naked pods. So this is my Robinhood trading account, and you can see that I have the symbol NAK, which is Northern Dynasty Minerals, opened up here. Now, let's begin with the fact why did I first get into selling puts on this particular symbol? What was the basis for doing that? So, for that, let's look at what this stock has done in the last 3 months. So, if you look at the last 3 months or even more than that, what you'll notice here is that for a couple of months around September, October, and then November, almost 3 months, the stock was trading close to a dollar. Okay. So you can see that the price here is close to $1. It went slightly above a dollar, then it came down to about 87.90 cents. So it had been hovering near to that $1 level. And then this event happened. All of a sudden, there was a huge dip, and the stock was trading at 35, 36 cents for some time. It even went to 33 cents. So this was a big move to the downward side, and the reason for this was that one of the mining contracts that this company was expected to get, they faced a rejection around it. And so when the price falls this way, uh, if I remember correctly, that time it was basically about a 60% reduction. You can see that's trading around a dollar, right? And so it's trading at 33 cents. So the stock was down 67%. So when these kind of events happen, one thing that we need to analyze is the fact whether is this company going into bankruptcy or not, because what happens when such an event takes place, the volatility on this stock is very high, so the time premium, the implied volatility, it shoots up, and therefore the time premium also shoots up. So unless this company is going bankrupt and the stock price is going actually down to zero, these kind of events will present a pretty good opportunity to sell naked puts. Now, this is not the only way that I sell naked puts. In fact, this is only in selective cases that I'm following the strategy. Normally, I like selling naked puts on much more stable stocks which have a continuous history of generating revenue when they are available at a discount. I always believe that the only way to make money in the stock markets is to buy low and sell high, and that is only possible if you're buying things at a discount. If you are buying things when they are at their all-time highs, expecting that they're going to go even higher, that is not a strategy which will work all the time, because you're already buying something which is expensive, hoping that it's going to be more expensive in future. I do not like basing my trades on hope and expectation. And frankly speaking, the kind of resources I have as a retail trader, I don't have the resources that big firms can employ to do in-depth analysis, to understand what's happening inside companies. I don't get to meet the management of these companies. So the only way I am making trading decisions is based on whatever information is publicly available online. And with that limited information, I have found with my experience that what works best for me is when I get into a position at an advantage. I do not want to get into trading positions when stocks are at their all-time highs or close to their all-time highs and then expect them to go even higher. Okay, because for me, I'm getting into a position with a disadvantage. It's already probably the stock has already made its upward side move. So if I'm trying to get in at that point, that's not the best option for me. So I have another video which I'll link here, which talks about the entire step-by-step process, the screener that I use to basically identify the stocks that are selling at a sale. So Once I identify those, then there are certain other criteria that I need to employ to actually get into that trade. I'll link that particular video in the description, and so you guys can take a look at it. That should basically give you a fair idea on what I do in terms of identifying these stocks. So this was an opportunity that basically I identified at the time, and then I decided to sell puts around this particular stock. So one can argue that I could have simply gone in and bought the stock when it was trading at this 30-35 cent level. But again, I did not want to do that. The reason is if you are outrightly buying stocks, then you are not lowering your cost basis immediately, because you can definitely buy the stock at 33 cents. But there is a better way to do it, and that is by selling naked puts. So let's look at some of my open trades that exist here. So I do own 300 shares of NAK, and therefore you can see that against those 300 shares, I have sold three calls, but this is a covered call, so we are not going to be discussing it here. What I'm trying to highlight is this particular trade. So let's look at this trade. Let me expand this. And so this is the trade that I am talking about. Now, in this case, what I have done is I have sold the 50 cent put on NAK, and I got a credit of $96 for a total of six contracts. So basically, I got a premium of $16 per contract. So I sold six contracts, six put contracts, and in all, I got $96 credit, which means I sold one single contract for uh, a credit of $16. Now, why did I take this trade? The reason I took this trade is if you look at it today, okay, NAK is trading at 66 cents. Let's see when I executed this trade. So this trade was basically executed on 3rd February. So you can see here, this is the trade confirmation that I basically sold the zero point 0.5 puts on 3rd February. And the expiry date here is 19th March. So if you calculate the number of days, basically this had about 25 days in February plus 19 days in March. So that's about 44 days to expiry. So when I sold these contracts, uh, the 45 days were there for this contract still to expire. And let's look at what price NAK was trading at on 3rd February. So if I go to the chart, and I'll go 3 months back, and let's see what was the NAK price on 3rd February. So on 3rd February, it was trading at about 61 cents. Okay, so we know what it was trading at. And now let's get back to this particular trade that I had done earlier. And let's look at the details of this trade. So this trade is actually the one I'm talking about. So on 3rd February, NAK was trading at 61 cents, and I sold the 50 cent put contracts. Now, a put contract basically implies that I'm giving a confirmation to whoever is buying those contracts that if on 19th March the price is below uh, 50 cents, then those contracts can get exercised. And if those contracts are exercised, I will basically happily buy shares from somebody at 50 cents. So, in this particular case, let's say this by 19th March, which is still to happen, NAK falls from the current price of 66 cents, it goes to 40 cents. Then obviously these contracts will be exercised, and I'll have to buy shares of NAK at a price of 50 cents. But the important thing to note is that I'm already getting a 16-cent premium. So I would be forced to buy shares at 50 cents, but I already got a 16-cent premium. That means the effective price for me, if I have to hold on to those shares, is 34 cents. So that is the key with this strategy. I am not buying shares of NAK. I don't even know by 19th March whether I'll be forced to buy shares or not forced to buy the shares of NAK. And even in the worst possible situation that NAK price falls below 50 cents and I'm forced into buying NAK shares, although I am buying at 50 cents, my actual cost will be way lesser than this. It'll actually be this 50 cents minus the 16 cents premium. That means at 34 cents. So you can see that if I look at NAK and I look at the recent prices, then for the last 1 month, it's always been above 60 cents. I think the lowest it's gone is 60 cents in the last 1 month. If I look at the last 3 months, then it's been it was just at the lowest levels when I showed you when I started executing the trade, but it's been up here for most of the time. On 3rd Feb, it was at 61 cents. It's pretty much around the same level. It's gone up, it's come back. So the important thing to understand here is the fact that the strategy is good because it is really, really conservative. And if you look at the other video where I'm explaining how I identify these candidates where stocks are on sale, that itself is a very conservative screener. So stocks on sale means that those stocks have had a recent dip. Those are genuinely good stocks, but they have had some recent dip, and we are getting into those positions at the time when the stocks are on sale. That means they are being sold or traded in the market at a discounted price. So you already have a stock which is trading at a discounted price, and then also you're not outrightly buying the shares, rather you're selling puts in order to bring down your cost basis. So to summarize, let me call this out once again. I first of all waited for the stock to dip from this level to the 30-35 cent level. So this is something which will pop up on my a screener where I'm looking for stocks on sale. So this is something which is going to pop up there. So I'm already looking at a stock which is discounted by about 50-60% because there is a recent drop in price. It's dropped from $1 to 33 cents. And then from this discounted price on 3rd February, it was around 61 cents. So based on compared to this $1 price, it was already down 40%. And even after that, I'm selling a put which is at 50 cents strike price. That means I get to buy stocks only if the worst possible price I'm going to get is 50 cents to buy the stock. Plus, I'm getting a 16-cent premium, so that further brings down my cost of owning the stock to 34 cents. So, this is a strategy where you can say that right now the stock, when I got into the trade, was at 61 cents. That's on 3rd February. But if I eventually end up buying this stock, the actual cost for me would be just 36 cents. So, I mean, think about it. You're getting into a trade where the current stock price is 61 cents, and if you are forced to buy the shares, you're agreeing to buy the shares only if the cost, that is net cost, that comes to you is 36 cents. So I think that's a big bargain. And this kind of a strategy works the best in my opinion because you're playing conservative. Stocks will go down in price, but they can go down only to a certain extent unless they're going bankrupt. So that is the entire theory behind this particular approach, that unless companies are going bankrupt, you really don't have to find a reason not to buy the shares when they are selling at such a huge discount. So, in my opinion, this is one of the best strategies that work out absolutely fine for me. And the another good thing about this strategy is that you're using multiple levels of discounting. Your first level of discounting is in uh, the screener itself, which is helping me identify the stocks on sale. And then the second level is because I'm selling ports not even at 60 cents, I'm selling the 50 cent strike ports, and I'm collecting premium against that. So I mean, this is a strategy which I believe everybody should review, and a certain portion of your portfolio should at least be made out of selling naked puts, because this strategy actually works and it keeps you on the conservative side. It's not a very aggressive strategy, but it keeps you on the right side of things. I mean, imagine somebody would have gone and bought the shares at a price of $1. That person would have made a lot of loss. Imagine the same person buying shares at 61 cents. He would not have made much of a profit because NAK is still trading at the same price. But then you see my trade where I've already made 60 cents of profit. That is the premium that I get to keep for just holding on, for just selling the put option. And in the worst possible case, even if I end up buying the shares, I'll be buying at 36 cents. And 36 cents for a stock which has shown this kind of a price movement is really good, because 36 is the lowest point for at which this stock has been for a very short period of time. Only in December, uh, this stock, and I think mid till mid January, this stock was at these levels. Since then, it's gone high. So in the entire history of this stock, it's been at these levels for the last 1 year. If you see, it's been at these levels only for a month and a half. The rest of the time, it's been above this value. So this is the kind of trade which I feel that it puts you on the right side of things. It gives you the right kind of start. You're not starting with a disadvantage. Imagine if I would have gone with some other strategy where you feel, okay, the price is going up, 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 and this looks like a very good momentum. Let's buy here. So you would have bought at 220. And there are a lot of strategies out there which recommend that you see the upward trend, and if it's an uptrend, then you just ride the trend. Because the problem with that strategy is you never know if you're buying here or you're buying here or you're buying right at the top here. So something which is going up is in an uptrend, but how long is it going to continue going up is what matters. So the entry points are really, really important. And this strategy of first, step one, use the discount stock identification filter, for which I'll link the video. And the second step, that once you have the stocks identified, even then sell a conservative put below the current market price and gather premium around that to even lower the cost basis. This is one of the best strategies, one of the most conservative strategies, which will eventually either keep you on the right side of things. It's going to be profitable most of the times. And even in cases where you make losses, instead of a 40-50% loss that would have happened had somebody bought in at $2 or $2.50, or even at $1, your losses are going to be towards the minimum side. So hopefully this information is helpful. I'll come up with much more examples. This was one of the examples. And the reason I brought it up was because this trade is still to close. So when I'm closing the trade on 19th March, I'll probably create another video to confirm the net profit that I was able to make from this particular trade, or if I happen to close it before that. But this is just to tell people, the conservative or so-called, I mean, this is not something which looks which has a lot of terminology around it, or this is not a strategy which is concept heavy. So trading is all about simplifying things. If you're trying to execute a strategy, you're trying to do a double iron condor, or you're trying to do a double calendar spread, these terms may look fancy, but those kind of strategies, the more complicated they are, the more difficult they are to understand, and they are not necessarily going to be profitable. So that's the reason I like keeping things simple, and that's exactly my logical motto here. Because I buy stocks as if I'm trying to go and buy anything in the market. If I go to the market and I have information that a certain Xbox is on 40% discount, that's the time I want to buy it. I don't want to buy an Xbox when there is a temporary shortage in the market and it's selling at a 150% price, hoping that the price is going to still go up. So whenever you're trading in the market or investing in the market, think that you're not trading or investing to just buy and sell. Think, what is the price at which you would definitely want to own something, at which you feel that something is at a deep discount and owning it is going to be good. We shop a lot of things all the time, and if something is available at a 20% discount, we don't mind buying it. We don't mind keeping it with us because we know it's a good purchase. That same kind of feeling should come in when you're investing your money into the stock market, that your investment is at a discount, it is coming at a cheap price, and that's the only way to make money in the markets. I have another video which details out why most retail traders lose money, and this is the primary reason why most retail traders actually lose money in the markets. Because when the markets are dipping down, retail traders are actually selling off their positions in panic, and that's the time when hedge funds and professional money is actually piling up positions because they want to get in cheap. So that's the main difference. It's a psychological difference. It's the way you handle the pressure, the stress of seeing your portfolio dwindle downwards. And if you can manage that, if you can control that, then that is what separates the regular trader from basically the smart money, which is always getting good returns. So I hope the strategy was useful. If you want more examples around this, please leave a comment, and you can share this with your friends, with your peers, and any feedback is most welcome. I will definitely try to bring up more examples, and my I would recommend that you go through all the videos that I would be linking along with this video, especially the one where I have explained in detail, step by step, the screener that I use to identify these stocks which are available at a discount in the first place. And then this would be the second step. Even once you find the stocks on discount, this is the actual strategy that you can use to execute the trades to even have a more conservative position and more chances of making net money. So, thank you for your time, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.